Chances are you started your day with a cup of coffee. I mean, so many of us do. But have you ever stopped to think about what's really in your mug? We're about to pull back the curtain on the incredible, surprising journey of coffee, all the way from its wild origins to its spot as a powerhouse of the world economy. So let's start with a weird question. What on earth do dancing goats have to do with your morning caffeine fix? Well, believe it or not, we might have a herd of very energetic goats to thank for coffee. The story goes that centuries ago, an Ethiopian goat herder named Kaldi noticed his flock went absolutely wild. They were practically dancing after munching on these bright red berries from a local bush. Naturally, he got curious, tried them himself, and, well, the rest is history. Okay, so right off the bat, let's get one thing straight. The term coffee bean is, well, it's not quite right. It's not a bean at all, not like a pinto or a kidney bean. It's actually the seed or the pit that you find tucked inside a small, red, cherry-like fruit. So yeah, from the very beginning, most of us have been calling it by the wrong name.
So from that one accidental discovery by a goat herder, this little seed went on to pretty much conquer the world. Let's take a look at the just massive scale of coffee's influence today.
And when I say massive, I mean it. The economic power behind this little seed is just staggering. It is the second most traded commodity on the entire planet. The only thing traded more is oil. Just let that sink in for a moment. Your morning cup helps drive a global engine that supports millions of people. It really puts that daily ritual into a whole new perspective. Now, when you're drinking coffee, you're usually tasting one of two big players, Arabica or Robusta. Arabica is kind of the crowd favorite. It's got that smoother, more aromatic flavor you love with hints of fruit or flowers. It's what you'll find in most specialty coffee shops. Robusta, on the other hand, totally lives up to its name. It's a much tougher plant with a stronger, bolder, and sometimes more bitter taste that, and this is key, packs a way bigger caffeine punch. Okay, so we've followed the bean across the globe, but what happens when it finally gets to you? Let's get into the science of what's going on inside that cup and what it's doing to you. All right, let's settle a classic coffee argument. Which has more caffeine, a shot of espresso or a big cup of drip coffee? The answer is tricky. Espresso is way more concentrated. It has more caffeine per ounce or per 30 milliliters. But nobody drinks just 1 ounce of drip coffee. That big 12-ounce mug that's about 355 milliliters actually has more total caffeine in it than one tiny shot of espresso. So size really does matter here. And of course, we all know caffeine is a bit of a double-edged sword, right? On the one hand, it's this amazing stimulant that wakes us up, boosts our alertness, and sharpens our reaction time. That's the magic we're all after. But on the flip side, too much of it can bring on those dreaded jitters or even trigger anxiety. It's all about finding that personal sweet spot. Oh, and speaking of caffeine, here's another fun fact for you. If you think you're getting zero caffeine by drinking decaf, you're not. The decaffeination process is really good. It gets rid of about 97% of the caffeine, but it doesn't get all of it, so there's still a tiny little bit left in that cup. You know, today we see coffee shops on every corner. It's this beloved daily ritual, but it wasn't always that way. In fact, for a drink that brings so many of us together, it has a surprisingly rebellious and even forbidden past. It is so hard to imagine now, but this drink we love was once seen as dangerous. In a few places throughout history, it was actually banned. And why? Because coffee houses became these hotbeds of conversation and debate. They were like the original social media. Rulers started to fear that all this caffeine was fueling radical thinking and might even spark a revolution. And boy, how things have changed. To see just how far coffee has come, you just have to look at who drinks the most. You might guess Italy or the US, but the biggest coffee lovers per person are actually in the Nordic countries, with Finland right at the top. The average person in Finland drinks a mind-blowing 26 pounds. That's about 12 kilograms of coffee every single year. Talk about a total reversal. But the journey doesn't end when you finish your cup. In today's world, where we're all trying to be a bit more sustainable, the final chapter of coffee's story is all about the amazing second life of what you leave behind. So next time, don't just throw out those used coffee grounds. They're actually super useful. They are packed with nitrogen, which makes them an awesome fertilizer for your garden, especially for plants that love acid. You can also pop a bowl of dry grounds in your fridge to soak up any weird smells, and because they're gritty, they make a fantastic natural scrub for your skin. It's such an easy way to make your coffee habit a little more sustainable.
So, from a herd of dancing goats to a global economic giant, from a forbidden substance that sparked radical ideas to a beloved ritual in nearly every culture on Earth, the journey of coffee is about so much more than just a morning buzz. It's a story of history, science, and human connection, all packed into one little cup. So the next time you take a sip, just take a second to think about that incredible journey. What story will your next cup tell you?